Trails Farm. Today I'm going to show you what I like to call butter magic. This is an old World War II butter rationing trick, and it takes 1 pound of butter and makes it into 2 pounds of butter. So it's a little bit of way of stretching your butter. So what you're going to need is a can of 12-ounce evaporated milk. You're going to need a tablespoon of unflavored gelatin, and if you're using these Knox packages, I use 3 of them. They're each 7 grams, so a tablespoon is really like 14 grams, but I find that they're really not measured exactly in these, so I use 3 to make sure. If you're measuring it out, just use a tablespoon if you have like a big container or something of unflavored gelatin. And you need a pound of butter, which is 4 butter sticks. It's also handy to have a butter mold or several butter molds. This is like a silicone one. You don't have to put it back in sticks form if you don't want to. You could just put it like in a butter dish or a circle or any kind of mold. That's sort of up to you. And I'm using a hand mixer. A stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer if you want. It really works best if you have some sort of electric beater, but if you don't, obviously I know people have done it by hand in the 40s. You can save your papers to reuse, or I usually just use wax paper, and I save my butter wrappers to grease cookie sheets and stuff with. I just fold them up and put them in a baggie, and I store them in the refrigerator until I need them for greasing loaf pans or whatever I am happening to be making. They're also handy for, see if you can see the butters on there so you don't waste all of that. They're also handy for greasing the top of chicken or poultry. You do need to let your butter soften so it's not, rock hard. So you need your evaporated milk. Doesn't matter what brand. And your gelatin. Okay, once you get it all in your pan or your dish, you're going to lower your thing there. And you just want it to beat it until it gets creamy. It'll start looking more like butter again after it gets the watery look with the milk, and then it starts fluffing back up. And the longer you beat it, you'll see it starts to solidify again. Fluffy butter. So I'm going to get this out of my mixer. It takes a little bit doing, getting it off this whisk attachment, and get it in. Start putting it in my butter mold. Okay, I'm fixing to put it in the mold. I'm fixing to take the butter out of the mold, and then we're going to put it in wax paper. Now, one thing I do, I save all the liners, the wax paper liners that are in cereal boxes, and I cut the tops and the bottoms that have been, melted and sealed. I cut those off, and I have a nice rectangle sheet that I wash and I dry, and then I save them, and that's my wax paper. So I know that's just a little tip. I don't know, you might do that yourself. And sometimes these come out nice. Sometimes they need some help here. Butter comes out. I'm going to take one of my squares of wax paper. And just fold it. And you can put a rubber band around it if you want. I just usually just stack them up in a freezer bag with the shape, and I would prefer that, but this is just what I got. So. And you can get fancy if you want with the papers. Mine I just basically just packing them in to a freezer bag, and then I just wrap them up, because I mean when I take them out I'm gonna put them in my butter dish anyway, so I just pack them in there like that. So I'm gonna keep working on taking these out of the molds and getting them wrapped up, and then we'll look at the finished product. You can see it just looks just like regular butter, and it's just I've stretched the butter. So let me finish doing this. Okay, all my butter is out of the molds, and I have it all wrapped in the wax paper, and I'm just going to put it in my Ziploc bag, and I'll store mine in the refrigerator. That's how I do it until I'm ready to use it, and then in the morning I take out whatever I happen to need. So that's the easy way to stretch 1 pound of butter into 2 pounds of butter. Again, the shape of your butter will depend on your mold. My molds are fatter and shorter than the standard longer and squarer. Mine's more like a rectangle. But my mold of 4 sticks makes 1 pound. So both my molds together make 2 pounds. And it's very simple, and I hope this helps you stretch your butter at home. Thanks for joining us today at Canterbury Trails Farm. Bye.